On to the story that we're focusing at this moment, and that is about the temples in Tamil Nadu, whether or not there is a crackdown by the state government on graft or on faith. Now, there is a controversy over two separate temples in Tamil Nadu, and the chorus is growing against the Tamil Nadu government's control over these temples. First up is the Madurai Adheenam temple, which is a Tamil Shaivite monastery which has slammed the DMK government and accused it of plundering the temples of its riches. The pontiff also accused Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment Department of the state government, calling it for it to be disbanded, claiming that it's riddled with corruption. Now, war of words erupted between the pontiff and the minister in charge. Listen in.
அந்த ஜட்ஜுக்கு கீழே வழக்கறிஞர்களை போட்டு ஊர் பெரிய மனுஷங்கள்லாம் போட்டு எங்களையும் கலந்து கொண்டு ஏதானாலும் செய்யணும். அது மாதிரி ஒரு நிலைமை தான் இருக்கணும்.
மதுரை ஆதீனம் தொடர்ந்து அரசியல்வாதியை போல் பேசிக் கொண்டிருப்பதை இந்து சமய அறநிலையத்துறை அனுமதிக்காது. ஆகவே ஆதீனங்கள் எங்களுக்கு யாரும் ஆதரவாக இல்லை என்பது போல் ஒரு தோற்றத்தை உருவாக்க மதுரை ஆதீனம் முயற்சிக்கின்றார்கள்.
Now, the HR&CE department of the state government administers more than 44,000 temples and trusts. The Madurai Adheenam is one of them, but there is another temple which is in the midst of a controversy, which is the Nataraj temple in Chidambaram, where the state government today, including the minister in charge, Sekhar Babu, conducted a survey over complaints of alleged mismanagement by the temple. Now, whether or not who controls this particular temple, that is up for debate, because the priests there, they say that this is a private temple. The control is with the priests and the temple management. But the state government has come out and said that this is a public temple, which is why if there are allegations of corruption or mismanagement, then the state needs to address those, which is why this survey was conducted. Prapanch, my colleague, now joins us live from on ground there. And Prapanch, we're given to understand that for a second time, the local officials there, the administration, have come back for a survey at the Chidambaram temple.
The morning around 10 o'clock, the HR&CE department officials had come for inspection, as they had in fact decided earlier, and they were asking for certain documents by the Dikshitas and their advocates. Now, initially it was completely refused. They refrained from giving any of the documents. They said there was no provision. It was not in jurisdiction for them to conduct the inspection. Now again, the officials of HR&CE had come. In fact, in afternoon, the minister, HR&CE minister, Mr. Sekhar Babu, had also met the press, and he said that the Dikshitas need to cooperate and they should furnish the documents, and there are several allegations alleged on the Dikshitas, and he told them if there is no issue, they should come forth and cooperate with the officials. Now here we have the advocate, Mr. Chandrasekhar, who will explain us in detail. Sir, there was a heated second round of arguments. What did the HR&CE officials say to you, and how did you respond? What is that?
In the morning, I have clearly told in a very cool and calm atmosphere, in cordial manner, that the inspection that has been carried out by the HR&CE today is without jurisdiction and without any legality. For that, they have not answered. I have also quoted the provision of section 107, which clearly give an exception to the applicability of the other provisions of the HR&CE Act. For that also, they got no answers. But now they are saying you are only a denomination administration and it is denomination temple. I said clearly, even in our 14-page reply that has been sent to the Commissioner to his proceedings on 6/5/2022 and also to the Deputy Commissioner who is inspecting now, he clearly stated that the English is very simple. There is no such thing called denomination administration temple and denomination temple. That English is quite simple, and I have also shown the objection we have raised in the earlier objection which has been raised, but they are not refusing to listen to the legal questions. They don't have any kind of answers, but for that they have four officers saying one by one, repeating the same thing without giving reply to how the provisions of HR&CE Act apply to the denomination administration when 6/1/2014 judgment clearly give a final quietus that the Dikshitars were denominational sect, and 1952 judgments is become final, and it will operate as adjudicator not only in that case and also in future cases. For that also they don't have any answers, and they say it is not owned by the Dikshitars. But we have quoted 1952 2 MLJ. We clearly stated that the temple is owned by Dikshitars. After showing all those judgments, still they say that they will insist that the other provisions of the Act will apply. Section 88 will apply. When 107 clearly debars them for application of any provisions of the Act. And I also given them the copy of the counter signed by G. Muthusamy, then Secretary to the HR&C department, filed in 544 of 2009, which he has clearly admitted this legal position. He says whenever the denomination section is given by Article 26, the provisions of the Act will not apply as per Section 107.
Sir, the HR&C minister says if you don't have any issues, you should come forward and cooperate with them. Why do you hesitate?
What in the morning also I told, and in the afternoon also I am telling that we don't have any issues if the inspection have legal jurisdiction. We question very jurisdiction itself, because our rights have crystallized after 70 years of litigation, and it has become final by the judgment.
State even has the right to survey is what this temple is now questioning. That was the advocate for the temple management. But the state government has come out and now defended itself. The minister in charge comes out and says that the survey was only conducted because certain complaints were made. This is definitely not a takeover bid. Listen in.
Chidambaram Nataraj கோயிலை பொறுத்தளவில் அது பொது கோயில் என்றுதான் ஏற்கனவே நீதிமன்ற தீர்ப்பு வரப்பட்டிருக்கின்றது. அப்படி பொது கோயிலாக இருக்கின்ற ஒரு திருக்கோயிலிருந்து புகார்கள் எழுகின்ற போது இந்து சமய அறநிலையத்துறை சட்டப்பிரிவு 23-28 படி அந்த திருக்கோயிலுக்கு சென்று புகாரின் மீது ஆய்வு செய்து விசாரிக்கலாம் என்ற, ஆகவே வந்திருக்கின்ற புகார்கள் அடிப்படையில் விசாரிப்பதற்கு வருகிறோம் என்று கடந்த 30ஆம் தேதி இந்து சமய அறநிலையத்துறை ஆணையாளர் அவர்கள் சட்டத்திட்டங்களை மேற்கோள் காட்டி கடிதம் அனுப்பியிருந்தார். தீட்சிதர்கள் அந்த திருக்கோயிலை நிர்வகிக்கின்றவர்கள் 1ஆம் தேதி அதற்குண்டான ஆட்சேபனை தெரிவித்து கடிதம் அனுப்பியிருந்தார்கள். இன்றைக்கு கூட அந்த திருக்கோயிலுக்கு நான் ஆய்வுக்கு சென்ற பொழுது தீட்சிதரிடம் இதைத்தான் நான் வலியுறுத்தி வந்திருக்கின்றோம். உங்களுடைய திருக்கோயிலை நாங்கள் இந்து சமய அறநிலையத்துறை எடுக்க வேண்டும் என்பது குறிக்கோள் அல்ல, தீட்சிதர்களுக்கு எதிரான செயல் என்றும் நினைக்கக்கூடாது. இது பக்த கோடிகளிடமிருந்து வருகின்ற அந்த புகார்களை விசாரிப்பதற்கான குழுதான் இது.
Mohan Krishna, spokesperson of the BJP, and Vikraman R, spokesperson of the VCK, an ally of the DMK, now joins us on this broadcast. Mr. Vikraman, I'd like to begin with you. There are two temples in Tamil Nadu which are accusing the Stalin government, one of corruption and the other of a forced takeover bid. How do you view this?
The first issue about the corruption, I don't find it anything other than the political motivation. This particular Madurai Adheenam had been vocal against the DMK government ever since DMK had taken power. Because the other Adheenam, Thiruvadurai Adheenam, Dharmapuram Adheenam, all they have hailed the government for their pro-believers activities and the pro-believers stand. So Madurai Adheenam, whatever he has alleged or whatever he has been alleging of the government is totally baseless and also politically motivated, and he should behave like a saint instead of a politician. So there should be some sincere demarcation between politics and the religion. Okay, so the state government, especially the DMK government, views religion and state are different. We have the demarcation clearly. And according to this, and in terms of Chidambaram Dikshidhar issue, the HR&C Act 1959 clearly says in Section 23, it says it is listing the powers and duties of the commissioner in respect of temples and religious endowments. So the commissioner with due notice. So as the minister is saying, the HR&C department has given notice twice. Once on 30th May, they have responded. The temple trustees, especially the Dikshitars, in this case Dikshitars, they have responded. The next day they have responded, and on 3rd of June, the commissioner has responded saying that so-and-so allegations have been made, so-and-so problems have been brought to the notice of the commissionerate. So
Right.
we'll have to go and inspect. So the Act clearly mentions that the commissioner has the power to go and inspect, enter the religious institution. The religious institution, which also includes Chidambaram Natarajar Koil. So Chidambaram Natarajar Temple is not not beyond
Right. So
the purview of
the state government hasn't gone above and beyond any of its purview, be it the Chidambaram survey, Mohan Krishna, or the allegations. The allegations are nothing but political, believes DMK's ally.
Very good evening. The issue is very clear. They are atheists. DMK government wants to create a problem for the Hindus and temples especially. They have an agenda. They are trying to fulfill their agenda by putting forth these kind of things.
So it's your agenda really, Vikraman, not on the temples. There's also the allegation that came to the fore from the Madurai Adheenam, where he says that DMK politicians have absolutely no qualms about receiving porridge on Ramzan, during Ramzan from the Muslim community, or wearing the skull cap, but if we offer them vibhuti, they immediately reject.
No, that is baseless, and even you can see the HR&C minister. I mean, HR&C minister is sporting his Hindu belief and all that. He is a devout Hindu, in fact. And see, there are allegations coming from the devotees themselves. They are raising complaints about the management of this temple. So the HR&C had to intervene, and the minister is very clear that he is not going to take over the temple under HR&C. But according to our party VCK, we are very clear Chidambaram Nataraj Temple must come under the purview of HR&C. We are not sure about, we are very sure about that. Chidambaram Temple should come under the HR&C department, because HR&C department is in turn the public, because it is the government department.
But it's also the same department that is being accused of corruption, which is why there is a question mark right now on the DMK whether or not this is a crackdown on graft or whether it is a crackdown on the Hindu faith. That, of course, is up for debate, and the jury is out on that. But I thank you both gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast. We're out of time and we have to slip into a quick break, but we'll be back in just 2 minutes on this edition. Don't go anywhere, viewers.